Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome all of you for this webinar and a very warm welcome from Team Impact to all of you here. My name is Reena and I'm going to be the host for this session. So before beginning, let me just ask you all a question. How many of you, when you were small and for the first time, it was your first experience to be up on the stage and you were called upon the stage to address the audience and speak to them? So what kind of emotions or feelings or thoughts were going within you at that time? What was your state of mind when you were called upon the stage and when you were facing live in front of you, so many people sitting over there and watching you keenly and wanting to listen to you? Was it some kind of an excitement? Were you looking forward to it? Or you were super charged to address the audience? Or you were feeling slightly nervous, twitchy, very anxious and fearful? So I would like to generally know what kind of thoughts were going within you at that time when it was your first experience to be up on the stage. So you can give in your replies through the chat, because that is the easiest way by which we would be able to interact with you all. So, you know, some kinds of emotions going, some kind of thoughts like, अरे लोग क्या कहेंगे, अगर मैं ऐसा बोल दूं तो ठीक होगा, नहीं होगा, तो क्या होगा, रिजल्ट क्या होगा, लोग बुरा मान जाएंगे.
It's little nervous, little nervous.
Okay.
The first, and even that nervousness usually you get after seeing the audience. If it is like audiences, they are like 400, 500 audience, and by seeing them, you would be obviously little nervous. So that's what you would feel. Depends on the audience, how they react, and how they converse, the conversation, how they start, and how you start actually, and how it goes on. So if it is like fine, if there's a conversation happening from the both side, so you feel get a little comfortable. But when you're on a stage, the first conversation what you start, that matters a lot. So to kill
Yes.
that nervousness, obviously there should be two-way conversation that should happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was a fantastic response given by Mr. Nasir. So thank you so much, Mr. Nasir, for that response of yours. So yes, dear friends, this is one of the ways that you feel when you are up on the stage, facing your audience. You know, this reminds me of an instance. I'd like to share it over here with you all. It was during my middle school years. I was quite shy at that time. And to my dismay, I was called upon the stage once by one of my teachers. I don't know, she wanted to give me a surprise or something. And she gave me the microphone and said, now come on, the stage is all yours. And I was, to my utter dismay, I find the whole spotlight on me and all those pairs of eyes on intently watching me and wanting to hear what I had to say. Boy, friends, my heart was palpitating so fast. I was sweating and my throat just went dry. And I mean, no words were coming to me. The whole thing just went blank in front of me. And I was rooted to my place, transfixed, absolutely, not knowing what to do, what to say. And for a few seconds, I'm just standing over there like that. And everybody is like, and my teachers on the side, they are like prompting me, hey, speak, speak, speak. Finally, after some time, I mustered up courage and I started. I don't know what I spoke during that entire period, but somehow I finished it and I came off. But you know, friends, I felt so relieved after that. I felt calm and composed. All that shaking, all that nervousness just vanished. after I came off the stage. So these are some of the experiences that people go through when they are called upon the stage and when they are addressing the audience for the first time in their life. And you also will be surprised to know, dear friends, that fear of public speaking is the number one fear that people have. In fact, it is in the top 10 fears which normally people undergo. This is one of the first one. In fact, even before the fear of death. So it is that important. There is so much importance attached to it. And in fact, I'll also tell you another very well documented statistic about it. 75% of individuals in the whole world fear public speaking. And surprisingly, this is one of the most sought after public skills which people want to imbibe within them, because it is a prerequisite for a supervisory role. It's a prerequisite for any professorial role, a teacher, a trainer, a mentor, whosoever you ask. It is one of the prime skills that one must have to make a mark in that field. It is sought after even by entrepreneurs, by executives who want to establish, who want to better their career in their life, who want to reach the top. And this public speaking skill is something that will make them reach the top. Sought after even by college students, because it gives them a fresh perspective to life. So you can see from this the impact that your public speaking skills will have on your audience. It makes you that confident. And there are other advantages of mastering public speaking skill. Number one is it makes you think on your feet. Number two, your mind is alert with this. And there are other advantages also of public speaking skills, which we would take up in due course of time in our subsequent sessions that we'll be conducting. And updates about that we'll keep giving you from time to time. So stay tuned right till the end. Now, a few lines about the IMPACCT organization. Yes, as the name states, we create an impact amongst our audiences. We touch their lives. We are a team of highly experienced coaches, trainers, and mentors who have experience in the industry for more than 30 years. So we bring up to the table our 30 years of experience, that knowledge that we have acquired over the years, the skill we bring to the table. And that is how we are able to transform our participants through this imparting of knowledge and skills during our sessions. And our sessions are very interesting and entertaining too. So we work upon our participants on two fronts. Number one is internally and externally. Internally, we work upon their mindset, we work upon their ideas, we work upon their thought processes, we work upon their feelings and emotions, we work upon their creativity, we build their creativity, and we build their critical thinking abilities also, because these are all crucial skills that one person needs to have in order to master public speaking skills. We enable him to become organized. This is on the internal front. And on this external front, we work upon his body language, we work upon his facial expression, we work upon his hand gestures, we work upon his voice, intonation, pitch, tonality of voice, voice modulation. We see to it that we are able to inculcate those confident communication speaking abilities, whereby then he can in fact even make use of them if he wants to get into podcasting, if he wants to become a presenter, radio jockey, and all these aspects are well taken care of. So you can imagine by this, we work upon our participants inside out. It's that wholesomeness of a personality that we bring about in totality, so that a person becomes a very confident and social and a professional being who can face up to any kind of challenge in life. That is as regards impact and how impact can help you. So with this, I will hand over to my next coach come trainer. And this person is absolutely an amazing and very experienced person. He has extensively worked with students, school students, to bring about that kind of transformation in their personalities by working upon their communication abilities and public speaking abilities too. So he likes to catch them young. You know, it's an old adage, catch them young, work upon them thoroughly, make them all-round wholesome individuals who can then take upon their life. And this is what Tapasvi has done, our next coach come trainer. I welcome Tapasvi. Now I'll hand you over to Tapasvi now.
Okay. Thank you, Reena. That was really a nice introduction. And from introduction, I would like to give you an experience. Now, if you notice my name is Tapasvi. And the best part about it, it's one of the unique name that is there. Another thing about my name is it ends with an I. Now, what does my name ending with an I has to be something to do with my introduction part of it? You know what? Indian names have one challenge. All the feminine name or most of the feminine name which are there either ends with an I or an A. Now, that puts me in a very difficult situation at times. You know why? Because people expect that there has to be a female coming to give the introduction. I have a vast experience in HR, and one of the things that I had to do in HR was to conduct induction. And you know what the recruitment team used to tell the new joinees? Yes, you have to have an induction that is going to be conducted by Tapasvi. So you'll be meeting him, not him. You'll be meeting, and please ensure that you go and meet the person. Now, all these new joinees are under the impression that they are going to meet a girl. And you know what? They see me, and you can should look at the face, and you are amazed by the look that they are expecting something else, and there is something else that is coming. Now, why am I talking about this in the introduction? Because introduction is one of the best way you can break the ice. What do I mean by breaking the ice? The initial few minutes that you walk into any stage, walk into any audience, that is where the fear lies. And how can you do justice to this fear is by giving something of a different kind of a introduction. Now, I have various things to go about my introduction. One is that I come ahead and go ahead and say, yes, I know you were expecting a girl, but I am not. Yes, and my name is Tapasvi. So this is how I start with. Now, having said that, this is one way I introduce myself. Now, there's another way which I do that. Okay. And how do I do that? Now, when I enter the audience, what I do is, okay, I ask them, how many of you know me? Please raise your hand. Okay. And how many of you don't know me? Please raise your hand. Now, I have already got the attention of people who know me and who don't know me. And many of the times, it is 100% that they don't know me. And when I find this audience, I have an absolute great opportunity to ask them the second question. Okay. Before I do that, I just forgot to say, thank you guys for joining this session and pulling out time and conducting and ensuring that you are attending this session. So first and foremost thing, thank you all of you and welcome on board. I missed that part and I'm really sorry for that. So I understand you are taking out time to attend this session, and I really thank you for that. Now, coming back to that idea, now when people don't know my name, okay, what I do is I ask them, do you want me to tell my introduction or do you want to guess it? Okay, then I get the same thing. How many of you want to guess it? How many want to know it? And mind you, the surprise element is 90% of the time people will say, I want to guess the name. Now, this is what has happened. What has happened? That now I have got their attention. Now they are eager to hear. And best part, I have got an engaged audience. And that's how I start. So now what did you learn? There you learned that your introduction becomes the best icebreaker in any conversation, whether it's in front of an audience or maybe general public where you just want to give your speech. And what you do with your introduction is that it builds that first level of confidence for you to continue. Okay. Now, having said that, there are many a times that even after you got this good break and the introduction, that you seem to struggle going forward. Now it happens. So what do you do here is normally ask two kind of questions. One, which the answer is yes, the answer is no. And how do you ask that? Like if you see, or if you remember the initial talks, I said, how many of you know me? So the answer is yes and a no. So I get both the part of it. Now, everybody who knows me is engaged. Everybody who does not know me is engaged, and I know that they are participating. Now, there is the third kind who will neither pull out their hand when to say yes and neither put out their hand to say no. And what would I do then? I would say, and of course, I know there are people who don't want to, are lazy enough not to put out their hand. And how many of such people are there? When I ask this question, I get the attention of all the 100% attendance. Now, this is one method wherein you get the attention of your audience. So, what we have learned now are two simple things which you can do. One is, of course, your introduction to break the ice. And second, the way to get your audience engaged by involving them by asking simple questions which are yes and no questions. And you know, either it has to be a yes and it has to be a no, which means you are engaging your entire audience. And one thing which you can also do is thank the audience for raising their hand, thank the audience for answering the question, thank the audience for coming here. So now in itself, what you're doing is you are engaging the audience, you are ensuring they are listening to you, and now you've got your attention of the audience. Now you can start with what you want to deliver, what is the message that you want to pass on to these students or these participants or this audience of yours. Now there are more such things that are there in public speaking, and mind you, public speaking is not just speaking on the mic, it is also addressing people at various level. It might be when you're speaking to your friends, it might be when you are achieving any milestone and you are getting an award that you might have to speak there, or it might be you might be an master of ceremony for an occasion. Now these occasions are many, and how do you react to such occasion and how do you involve in such occasion and you become a better speaker? That is where we come into picture. And this is one of our attempt to ensure that we help more than 1 lakh of individuals to become better speakers. And how are you going to do that? We are going to conduct more such small knowledge sessions wherein we will be giving you small tidbits here and there, practical skills which will help you become a better speaker. And there is more to follow. There is many more things which we plan to do. And because you are here, you will also be getting those information time and again. All you need to do is just be part of a group which is on Facebook, which is on LinkedIn, which is also on a WhatsApp group. You will be getting informations every other event that has been conducted by us. So please stay tuned for it. Now, before I go ahead, let me tell you that we have one more speaker of ours who is going to speak about more about how you're going to use creativity. Now, this lady, let me say you, this lady is a package of surprise. She is a person who believes in creating entrepreneurs at an early age. She has been involved in corporate trainings at various levels. And let me welcome Deepika, one person who will not fail to surprise you with her creativity. So, welcome, Deepika, and please go ahead. You can. Stage is yours. Deepika, you are on mute. The classic, the classical error we always do. We are on mute and we talk. So Deepika, nice welcome. Yes, yes, you are clear now. Deepika, your voice is breaking.
So it seems there is some voice issue, and probably Ganpati is also passing by near Deepika's house. So it seems there is some. Is it so? I mean, Deepika, you're okay? I mean, your audio is okay?
Deepika, try removing the headset and try.
No, I think this is because of the network.
Yeah, it seems maybe because of the network. So, okay, guys. So this webinar is all about public speaking. By the time Deepika takes over, I mean, she fixes it up, fix up her audio issues. So basically, this webinar is all about public speaking. अभी पब्लिक स्पीकिंग की जरूरत क्यों पड़ती है? बिकॉज मैं आई टेल यू, आई गिव यू वन पर्सनल, आपको एक पर्सनल एग्जांपल देता हूँ. व्हाट हैपेंड कि there was a presentation which I made, and probably that was a one very good presentation which I was supposed to present in office. अभी presentation मेरा तो ideally I should be highlighted, or probably I should be getting the credit, but I was not able to speak up. I was not able to stand in front of people. I was not able to present it. So हुआ क्या? Somebody else was presenting it. So मेहनत मेरी and credit किसी और का. So these are the things which happens when you are not able to speak up for yourself, when you are not able to speak in front of public, when you're scared of speaking. एक और example बताता हूँ, you will actually enjoy it. कि I have seen multiple people जिनको अवार्ड मिलने की खुशी से ज्यादा अवार्ड मिलने पे हाउ आर दे गोइंग टू रिएक्ट इन फ्रंट ऑफ पीपल, और स्पेशली और अ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल, वो डर सताता है. एंड देयर इज अ मेंटल ब्लॉकेज. और ऐसा होता है. आई एम 100% श्योर कि यू ऑल माइट हैव डेफिनेटली फेस द इशू. और आपने डेफिनेटली वो भी एक इंसिडेंट सुना होगा कि जब क्रिकेटर्स, देयर हैड बीन लॉट्स ऑफ क्रिकेटर हु यूज्ड टू गेट आउट ऑन 99. तो साइकोलॉजिकली दे वर अंडर प्रेशर कि यार इफ 100 हो गया तो आई हैव टू गो इन फ्रंट ऑफ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल एंड दे आई मे हैव टू स्पीक. सो वो भी एक कंसर्न है. सो दिस वाज मिक्स्ड अप विद आल्सो द लैंग्वेज इश्यूज कि आई मे हैव टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश. So that can also be a concern. Or second issue, I have to speak in front of people. That was the biggest concern. So हुआ क्या कि you are losing an opportunity which was yours just because of public speaking में you are not comfortable. So these are the real life incidences. Now these happen every now and then.
Yes, definitely. Actually, when you get an award, you may not know what to speak,
Yeah.
how to speak with.
Yes. And I tell you, the most amazing thing about public speaking is कि whenever you are talking to a friend, we are very comfortable. Or we love speaking to a friend. Whenever we are talking to people who we actually love and who we are very close to, we are very comfortable. But जैसे ही ये friends आपके number में बढ़ जाते हैं, the moment they get into 10, they are 15 or maybe 50. So I do not know why people are not as comfortable as they were while speaking one-to-one. So there comes in the fear of public speaking. There comes in your validation issues. कि यार if I am speaking in front of so many people, अब लोग क्या कहेंगे टाइप. वो you might have heard सबसे बड़ा है लोग क्या कहेंगे लोग टाइप. Right? So in Deepika, in case you have fixed up your audio, you can come back and join.
Am I audible now? I should be, I guess.
Yeah, there are certain wobbling noise.
Sir, my mic is seen as working, but I need a confirmation from you guys.
You are, of course, audible, but only thing is it's breaking at point. You are audible. Your voice is coming to us.
Deepika, try
Okay.
switching off your video and talking.
Okay, I'll have to do that. One second. I'll just try with my headphone as well.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's a bandwidth issue or something like that.
there seems to be some bandwidth issues. Okay, so how many of us, I mean, we are live also, we are on Zoom also. I'm sure there will, these are the incidences what I told just few moments before. So these are the things which we all have faced. पहली बार जब बोलना पड़ता है तो इवन आज की डेट में द मोस्ट क्या बोलते हो मोर एडमायर्ड और मोर जिससे हम सबसे ज्यादा इंस्पायर होते हैं इवन वो पब्लिक स्पीकर भी एक टाइम में आपके और हमारे जैसे ही उतना ही डर उसको लगता है जितना कि हमको लगता है एट आवर फर्स्ट पब्लिक अपीयरेंस और एट आवर फर्स्ट पब्लिक स्पीकिंग इवेंट व्हेनेवर वी गेट द चांस.
In fact, to be honest, there are times even after having multiple public speaking sessions, I still get the jitters when I'm on the stage.
Yes,
हालत
yes.
पतली हो जाती है.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
And in my case, I have to visit schools, and there are certain students who literally, when you want to, you can't scold them, you can't talk to them in a higher tone. So you sometimes have that fear. Okay, Abhi, no, what do you do next? So this fear is always there. So it is not that the fear is going to go. ये जाने वाला नहीं है. It's only that you have to overcome it with constant practice and the confidence. Of course, it comes over at a period of time. But the first step is very जो बोलते हैं ना, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. So that first step is required.
और एक और बहुत ही मजेदार बात बताता हूँ आपको पब्लिक स्पीकिंग के बारे में कि एज तपस्वी सेड ये इवन बेस्ट ऑफ द पब्लिक स्पीकर जो भी होता है ना फर्स्ट टाइम मतलब इवन ही माइट हैव स्पोकन सो मेनी टाइम इन फ्रंट ऑफ पब्लिक पर नेक्स्ट टाइम वो जब जाता है प्रॉब्ली अ गैप ऑफ फ्यू डेज तो उसकी हालत भी वैसे ही खराब होती है. बट द ब्यूटिफुल थिंग अबाउट इज कि द moment he start speaking he connect back to the zone in which he has done very well. So that is the beauty of it. And at Impact, we teach you how to connect with your confident zone. So in psychology or in the mind training, there's something called circle of confidence. So how to connect back with your circle of confidence before going to before appearing in front of people. So this is what we teach in Impact. What we teach in Impact is how to मैं कॉन्फिडेंस वाला वर्ड कम यूज करूंगा. हाउ टू बी कॉन्फिडेंट while speaking का वर्ड कम यूज करूंगा. I think there is some noise, probably someone might have to mute. So मैं कॉन्फिडेंस वाला वर्ड कम यूज करूंगा. मैं आई वुड से कि वी टीच यू हाउ टू स्पीक नेचुरली. You speak in English, you speak in Hindi, you speak in English or Marathi or Bengali or regional language. बट सबसे ज्यादा जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है कि यू स्पीक नेचुरली बिकॉज वेन एवर यू स्पीकिंग नेचुरली आपके दिल से आता है एंड आपका फ्लो आता है. यू गेट इन टू दैट जोन. सो दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट एंड दिस इज वॉट वी टीच. सो what I'm trying to tell you कि the people who join or what you call or platform. So what can they expect in the classes? They can expect lots of practice. Even probably I might have to mute few people. I don't, there's certain noise level. I don't know.
Let's try to check, is it work?
Okay.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible, Deepika, but I think there is still
Okay. Okay.
concern in the voice.
How about you come out of your headphone and Bluetooth and all? It's a direct laptop se ho ya mobile se ho?
It's a wired headphone. I've paid the headphone. I'll try switching my video and speaking. Okay, is it better? Is it better now?
No, it's not yet better. It is something to do with your connection with the unit also. जहाँ पे आपकी जो है headphone and with that plug-in unit. ये Bluetooth कौन सा है? Cordless है कि कैसे है आपका?
No, it's a wired headphone.
वायर्ड वाला जो है ना, तो आई थिंक दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट जहाँ पे आप ज्वाइन कर रहे हो ना, दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट करेक्ट मे बी। मोबाइल नहीं है क्या आपके पास दीपिका? अगर मोबाइल पे अगर आप आ जाते हो दैट वुड बी बेटर, विदाउट एनी हेडफोन्स एंड विदाउट एनी दिस थिंग।
So somehow one of our
Come on the
expert is
mobile,
not
come
able
on
to
the mobile.
join. One of our expert is not able to join today. So we may do a special streaming for Deepika. So anyway, what I was trying to tell you, ki what all people can expect in our classes. In our classes, there will be lots of practice session will be there, so that you know how to get into that zone of confidence. You know how to get into that zone of confidence, that comfort, that ease, that being you yourself. So this is what we try to teach you. जहाँ पे आपको whenever you're trying to speak, you do not have to be very formal. Only thing what is required, you need to be natural, irrespective of the fact कि आप हिंदी अंग्रेजी कोई भी भाषा में जबान में बात करते हैं. So we teach you how to get natural, and there are lots of what should I call? There are lots of things which we need to keep in mind as far as the body language is concerned. Where to keep your hand, how do your hand movement should be done. Should we adopt an open body language, or what all? So this is what we all teach in. So Deepika, if you're ready, so probably you can raise your digital thumbs
Yes,
up.
I have logged in from my phone now.
Yeah,
Finally,
you are
it should be
perfectly audible now, so you can take it over now. So
okay.
yeah, you
I'm
are perfectly
so
audible
very
now.
sorry, so very sorry for the technical glitches. And well, thank you for and having that patience and getting me back over here in the session. Once again, sorry to everybody. Well, as Tapasvi mentioned, first of all, thanks, Tapasvi. Well, I also understand technical glitches are a part and parcel which comes with online sessions. So we'll have to live with it still, even after Corona, correct? So okay. To start with, and to rather continue what Reena and Tapasvi mentioned about, and as we are here today for sharing data about something on public speaking, right? So I would like to start by saying there is this famous dialogue, we keep please, O stri kal aana, sarkate ka atank, correct? I'm sure you remember something very specific once you hear them. Would anybody want to share what comes to your mind once you're hearing this?
Madoc.
Madoc
Madoc,
films.
the horror
Madoc
universe.
films. Horror AI universe. Correct. So this is one of the very famous, I shared just famous dialogues from the movie Stree 2. Well, why am I even trying to share these dialogues wherein we are here to share something about public speaking with you all, correct? Well, yes, I'm speaking of something which is more than a talent and a skill. So I'm referring to here is creator skills. It is not just a talent, it is not just a skill, it is more than that. Let's quickly see what is it exactly about. Now, why I mentioned about this 3-2 movie, you also must have noticed there was Varun Dhawan entry in the movie in the climax. So there was some creativity brought in to the movie so as to attract curiosity, some kind of creativeness by the producer, I would say, rather by Madoc Films, so that the gluiness to the screen or by the audiences remains intact. Correct? So this is what is on the creativity part. On as a public speaker, how can you utilize this skill or a talent, which is actually more than both of them, in your speeches, or actually when you are addressing a session wherein maybe there are thousands of counts of people. So what you exactly try to do here is, we are like this kind of a skill helps you to being more flexible. It helps you to become a better problem solver, and of course critical thinkers, which will be touching this point later on in a couple of minutes from here. And I would say it is something which actually provides you with new opportunities. So now this kind of a skill as a public speaker, if you would start incorporating into your speeches, into your sessions for your audiences, that's where the real impact starts to happen. And now that we know how creativity comes into the picture, be it movies, be it in your daily routine, mundane routines, whatsoever. There are different ways to do it, correct? I would be sharing only a couple of very, very important ways of being how you can be creative in your speeches as a public speaker. I'm sure you would be hearing it maybe for the fresh first time. Okay. So the very first point or the very first way which you can incorporate as a public speaker is having a new ending. Well, doesn't it sound little different? We all of us watch movies, right? We all of us know, okay, in the end, the hero and heroine will be together, the villain will be out or either die. But what is the meaning of a new ending? I would relate it strongly with the movie Maharaja, Vijay Sethupathis. Correct? That was something, a very apt example, which actually gave you a clarity of something which give you a new ending for that, because it actually increases the fantasies of your mind. So such kind of creativity, which actually increases fantasies in the mind of your audiences, when you just give a little tweak onto your endings and get that curiosity build up and give a twist to your story, that's where a new ending comes into the picture. So in your speeches, in your talks, whatever stories, if you share, it might have happened in your personal life as well. You were expecting something, but something else happened. So that's maybe a new ending, I would say. So that's one of the very important and vital ways which you should incorporate being a public speaker. The second point which I want to touch here is about using the non-linear structure. Now, by saying non-linear structure, I would want to share is what I want to share here is generally there is an order of or the flow of content which a speaker generally follows. Introduction, I would say introducing self, and then coming to what is the topic for the day, then sharing background data analytics about the topic, and then coming to the problems, challenges, and the solutions and the takeaways for their audiences. Correct? Maybe if you can try again giving a little twist to the way you are approaching, or rather you are designing your content, give it a non-linear structure. How can you do that? You can actually start shifting from the flow. Just do some kind of permutation combination wherein you can come up with non-chronological orders for a surprise for your audiences or the listeners. Trust me, both of these work fantastically. And if you start incorporating them into your sessions or public speeches, it would actually create an impact. And that's where impact we people are here to share about how you can do that. Now, creativity skills, we got to understand, or rather got to know about the ways, what exactly it is, why is it more than a talent or a skill? It actually helps you spark the actually kind of an unpredictability of real life communications, correct? And that's where it has a realistic, fluent activity fostering of long drastic changes. And yes, not last but not the least, it is kind of a skill which is creating agreements, rather creates enthusiasm and options for your audiences or your listeners. So with this, I give a closure to what creative skills you can incorporate, what are the ways you can do it in being a public speaker. So that covers one of the very important topics. The next topic which I would like to quickly touch base upon is about critical thinking. Now, okay, I'll give you some names right now. Let me know what is that picture which comes to your mind. I have sesame seeds, I have curry leaves, I have coconut, I have a batter. What else? What is coming to your mind when you listen these words?
Sesame seeds.
Something related to food, khana.
Parotha.
Something related to food, absolutely. What is that?
Dosas.
It is very easy to guess.
Dosas.
Dosa.
Idli and dosas.
Yeah, uttapam, idli. Correct. Absolutely. Now again, you must be thinking, why am I speaking or giving an example of a dosa batter out here when is it even related with public speaking? Of course, yes, it is. One is that creative skills can be utilized when you're actually, as a mother, as a homemaker, I would say, I do this, and hence I wanted to share it across because this is one of the very important and the vital skills. What you can imagine is when you are being served an idli dosa chutney, you imagine something which is a round shaped dosa or a small round shaped idli with chutney, correct? That's what a standard way of having a South Indian dish is. But what I do is I start making dosas in the shape of alphabets of my kids' names. So say, for example, somebody's name is Reena. I mean, my friend here is Reena. I would make the dosa in the shape of the name of Reena, Reena. And I would serve them on the plate with the chutney, putting a smile below the name. Now, when I'm serving this to Reena, Reena will be really surprised. I mean, even if she's busy or occupied with something else, drastically her attention would come on the plate. And what is this? My name is on the plate and there's a chutney smiley down. What is it about? I mean, I was expecting something like a dosa and a pure chutney out on the plate. So that's where the creativity comes into the picture. You grab your attention of your listeners or your audiences. Whosoever is viewing it, it actually makes them have a shift, right? They will start asking you questions. What have you made? How could you do this? Well, one of the reasons behind this is critical thinking. I gave a critical thinking thought that let me do it creatively, and also put some, I would say, critical thoughts of mine and how can I do it differently. Correct. So I evaluated my informations and I could actually make some logical decisions out here. It only allowed me to define my purpose. As a public speaker, it helps you define your purpose and also understand your audience. See, when I'm serving it to a child, if I'm serving it to my friend, there are two different types of audience, right? So as a public speaker, when you are serving, what kind of content are you delivering? How do you deliver your content or speech? It actually helps you understand your audience's taste, correct? So the example of dosa and idli chutney is what I'm just trying to put an analogy to how you can relate it with a public speaking as a public speaker and how you can actually help craft your message to your audiences. When asked, why have you served it like this? I would say, I wanted to be a little creative. I gave a little critical thinking thought at my end. Let me do it a little differently. So that's how critical thinking, and it's not that only about I am doing it. All of us do it in every day of our life. Once we get up, we are back into our thoughts that this is how I plan, this is how I will move ahead. Okay, for or plan my day, this is what the actions will I take. So that's where critical thinking comes into the picture. Now, this skill, critical thinking, for a public speaker will actually help you to develop more of arguments and positive discussions, I would say. Even if there are disagreements, you can still have them positively, right? Only when you serve those contents to your audiences, they will come back and ask you, why? What made you do this? Correct? There is something of a curiosity being popped up in your audience's mind. And that's where, as a trainer, as a public speaker, you would want to create that impact. And actually, also, you can position your speech in a very, very, very strong manner. Correct? Now, we can consider the implications of what am I or what, as a public speaker, we are going to say to our audiences. We can also avoid inadvertently offending someone or saying something harmful, I would say. Correct? So, in short, critical thinking is indirectly related to your oral communication. Correct? Both are interrelated. It's not about that only you have a communication, you give a thought of how will I plan. Even before coming in here, I planned what would be my flow. Can I make it a little more creative? Can I give some examples which can directly and easily get connected to my audiences or to my listeners, just to develop that curiosity, that attention span, just to grab their attention so that they are getting glued to what is being shared. So in short, we had a discussion quickly today on public speaking. There are two important skills which we touched base upon. One is creative skills and the other one was critical thinking. So with these two, I'm sure you would have got a very good idea about how, as a public speaker, you can incorporate these two skills. There are many, many lot more to, I would say, get incorporated in your speeches, in your talks as a trainer, as a public speaker. It will be lined up soon for you in the upcoming sessions from Impact. So thank you so much for being there with us today. And thank you so much for bearing with me with my technical glitches today. And once again, I apologize for this. And thank you for spending your weekend, Friday night with us and having your presence out here for this session. And for sure, stay tuned for the next sessions, which will be coming up and which will be adding up more points for a public speaker to incorporate in their speeches and talks. So with this, I hand it over back to my friends Reena and Tapasvi. Thank you so much once again. Thank you.
So thank you, Deepika. It was a great insight into creative thinking, and it will definitely improve the way you put forth your points when you are facing an audience. Okay, so while we are coming to the end of the session, let me tell you, this is just the beginning of what we call the helping of people in terms of becoming better speakers. And we will be coming out with more such contents, with more such knowledge bites that will help you to improve your public speaking, and not only to become a better speaker, but also to understand what are the various nuances that you can avoid, what are the new developments that are helping us become better speaker, how you can do a background research, how you can put forth your points in more positive and more acceptable manner, what you can use rather than just using boring old words, what are the new kind of words which you can use to make your presentation more impressive. So stay tuned for more such sessions which will be coming regularly to you. So stay tuned to our channel on Facebook, wherein we will update all the other upcoming sessions, all the upcoming events that we are going to host, and you will be the first persons to get this notification. So please be with us and please participate with your whole heart, and rest assured we are going to give you many more things in the coming sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Tapasvi, for giving a well-rounded view of the whole session. And I would just briefly like to talk on one aspect, is that IMPACCT as a team and as coaches that we are here, we love to work with individuals. We love to work with our participants. And it is not just, a transactional relationship which will end with, the session that we impart to our participants. In fact, our knowledge sharing ideas, our skills sharing ideas, that will keep continuing on even after the session is over. In fact, this relationship is for times. It's for keeps. So do not think that it's just for that duration of time. Otherwise, the thing is that it's a hand holding that we do with our participants, because we do not think that a relationship should just end with that session. It is for keeps. It will keep continuing on. It will continue on for years and years to come. So which is why again and again we are saying, if you stay tuned to our videos and you keep watching our YouTube channel also, which in which we would be time and again posting our updates and regular information, so that you are updated about what we are coming out time and again. So that would be of real good help to everyone. So with that, I wind up, and thank you all so much, everybody over here who have come, who have taken their valuable time and sat for the session and listened to us. Thank you so much once again. Good night. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
you.
Good
Thank
night to
you.
you. Good night, everyone.
Everybody.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night.